On this Independence Day, several 2020 Democrats will be celebrating in Iowa, where in just 7 months, voters are going to be casting the first votes in the presidential primaries. As they barnstorm across the Hawkeye State to make their case to voters, some are even creating their own fireworks. Now, this comes as several new polls show Joe Biden losing his lead as the frontrunner in the wake of the rather devastating first Democratic debate. Now, for all the details, we go to Fox News correspondent Mark Meredith live in Washington. Mark.
Good evening, Tammy. Former Vice President Joe Biden is back in Iowa tonight. He's got a busy few days ahead of him. He's going to be making several stops all across the Hawkeye State. Now, Biden's campaign announced tonight its latest fundraising totals. The campaign says since it's launched, it's raised $21 million. We also got a new poll out today showing Biden still in the lead among Democrats, but he is down a bit after Miami. This is that new ABC News Washington Post poll. You can see right there, Biden at 30%. Bernie Sanders at 19%, but right there also in third place, California Senator Kamala Harris, third place, at least in this poll right now. Senator Harris is also in Iowa tonight, and she's launching a very direct attack against the president. Here's what the senator had to say while rallying supporters.
I have prosecuted transnational criminal organizations when they preyed on women and children. I know predators, and we have a predator living in the White House.
Harris is also blasting President Trump over the decision to create tomorrow's Salute to America event that David was just talking about. Here's what she had to say about that.
I don't think he understands. This is America's birthday, not his birthday. He wants to have a military parade. Why don't you think about military families? And think about the fact that military parents, that you're sending their sons and daughters to what might be war.
Tonight, South Bend Mayor Pete Buttigieg is also criticizing the president over the celebration. The mayor spoke to supporters in Iowa within the last few hours. It's there that he rolled out a new plan, he says, that will expand national service programs.
We propose to immediately triple paid service opportunities, to bring them to 250,000 opportunities targeted toward America's high school graduates, community college and vocational students.
The mayor's plan calls for expanding programs like the Peace Corps and also creating some new service opportunities to address things like climate change and mental health needs. Tammy?
All right, Mark, thank you very much. And back with me, thank goodness, Kaylee and Chris. Not that I was going to send Chris to the cornfield or anything. So we're back here.
Hey,
and look,
I love corn. It's American, baby.
That's right. Now look, with those kinds of speeches, with what's going on here, it is the 4th of July. You hear, Kaylee, we've got Kamala Harris calling the president of the United States a predator. Now, if some of the messaging is that we all should be united. That's, I know, Mayor Pete's message is we need to be united. Kaylee, is there a legitimate political reason for that kind of rhetoric to be continued, not just on this holiday, but really at any point, considering the divisions here?
No, and Kamala Harris is a fraud. It's really ironic to hear her say, I know predators. Well, clearly not, because there was a predator in her midst for 14 years. Her top staffer settled a sexual harassment payout for $400,000 and was only fired nearly 2 years later when the media found out about it. So for knowing predators, she had one in her office that she chose to neglect. So she's the one who's fraudulent. She wants to go down this road, likewise pointing fingers at Joe Biden when she was an aggressive prosecutor who upheld wrongful convictions. She's got a lot to answer for. So she's pointing fingers, but she's got 4 fingers pointing right back at her.
Well, yeah, a lot of this, Chris, really, we want to talk about ideas. Now, I don't like what Mayor Pete is suggesting because it's just another massive government program costing billions of dollars. But really, when talking about dollars, very quickly, Chris, your thoughts on the new second quarter fundraising figures. A lot of money is coming in, just released for the 2020 Democrats. Biden is now trailing Buttigieg by $3.3 million. Is that a surprise to you? And does that indicate that he's in trouble?
It's a little surprising, although I think Buttigieg probably had a better handle on the online and Twitter world of fundraising, which Joe Biden is just now getting caught up to. Look, I think it's a marathon, not a sprint, and I think that Joe Biden's about to be passed frankly. I don't know that the Democratic Party wants a nominee, whether it be Joe Biden or Bernie Sanders or anybody else, that's about to turn 80 would turn 80 in the first year of the presidency. I think it's time that they look for someone a little bit younger with fresher ideas that want to move the party and the country forward. And I don't know that Joe Biden or Bernie Sanders are that people. And we'll see what happens.
Socialism isn't a fresh idea.
Yeah, you know, you're going to call anybody a socialist. You're going to call anybody a socialist, so it doesn't really matter. We can nominate the most conservative person. We can nominate Bullock from Montana. You're going to call him a socialist. We're going to need Dramamine for your spin, Kayleigh. And it's going to get tired. It's going to get tired for all. They already have health care. It's called the emergency road, Callie. Yeah, Callie, you don't know the difference between how we pay for this and how we pay for that.
Chris, the fact that you even have to wonder about when someone's going to be called a socialist indicates that there's a little bit of a problem. But let me ask Kayleigh, though, quickly.
I know you're going to call whoever we nominate a socialist, no matter what their positions are, because that's your plan.
They'll do it themselves. They'll do it themselves. So, Kayleigh, Chris, hold on one second. Chris, hold on. Kayleigh, people talk about how much money the president has raised, and he has raised a lot. And then how, it doesn't match up with what the Democratic candidates have been raising. But there's many Democratic candidates. And if you add up the money, there is a similar amount of money pouring into that side. Is that something that needs to be considered? The president, yes, and the RNC's raised a lot of money, but so have the Democrats collectively. What do you say to that?
Not in the slightest. Add in the DNC there, and you got a negative on their balance sheet because the DNC's sure carrying a lot of debt. So we are sitting comfortably on our $105 million. We're smart digitally. We understand how Facebook advertising works. We've got a data operation that is probably quantified somewhere close to $1 billion. What do we have on hand? $100 million. What do you guys have on hand? We're very confident with our money. We're very confident with our data.
The guy spends money like a drunken sailor. He doesn't know how to run a campaign, and he's going to lose in 2020.
He clearly does. Do you remember November 8th, 2016?
Let me remind both of you, Hillary had $1 billion, and it didn't matter. So it's not always money, right? It's about your ideas.
Money isn't everything.
Both of you, thank you so much. And again, happy 4th of July. Thanks for joining.